This is the Red Beard Podcast.
Hold on to your butt.
Do we really suck? Or is this guy really that good?
I have one speed, I have one gear. Go!
Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Red Beard Podcast. This is your boy Cooley. And as usual, no, not as usual, I'm sorry. I was trying to gas you up and make you think that Tony was going to pop on here in any second and just say, hey, it's Tony. But you know what? Tony can't be here today. And we miss him. Absolutely miss him. But you know what? He's having a blast right now out there on a cruise with the new wife. Well, not like he had an old wife, but with a wife that he just acquired. Well, that's also not true. I mean, like, he's been with her for a while, but it's a new situation. Like, they actually have rings on and they committed to each other forever. So Tony, Becca, congratulations. And I hope you're enjoying the shit out of that cruise, and we'll see you guys soon. But, for now, the show must go on, right? The show's got to go on. So, today we're going to be recording via Skype, which is going to result in some different audio qualities from what you're used to. So bear in mind that, like, the audio levels may be a little bit weird just because I'll be using Skype instead of the usual recording application that I use. So, yeah, and you've heard the Skype stuff before. It's just going to be weird because I'm actually recording this and then also adding the Skype. So it's going to be like this weird, like, back and forth kind of vibe. I'm going to try and compress and get the audio levels as good as possible. But, just bear that in mind. That's all. So I'm going to have Quanstar on the show. He is a hip hop artist out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's very talented, very creative, and, I think you guys are going to love him. So here we go. So what's up?
Man, getting ready for, I'm doing like, we're doing some Texas, we're doing a Texas leg of our tour, the Spring Up Tour, next week, Tuesday through Saturday. So we're doing like Jackson, Mississippi, then we're doing Dallas, Austin, and San Marcos. So like I'm getting all the merch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Mr. Independent, so if I ain't got to pay for it, I just do it. You know what I'm saying? So I got like the inkjet printer that prints on the CDs, and then I've been doing this like sort of biodegradable, fancy, just different. It's like I make CD covers out of paper bags.
All right.
And then I just saw like some arts and crafts shit one day, and I was like, dang, I could do something with CD covers. So I just got hole punchers and little clasps and all that shit. So
nice. Yeah, man, so it's like some environmentally conscious shit.
Yeah, I figured, you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, when you traveling, sometimes I hate jewel cases because they crack so damn easily. So, like, I've always been looking for different things, like cardboard sleeves, other things that don't crack as easily.
Yep.
And it's just, I came across those. I got that idea and was like, let's do it.
Yo, man, so your name is Quan.
Mm-hmm.
Go by Quanstar.
Yeah. Actually, my government name is Janal DeQuan Harris.
Oh, that explains the Skype name that I saw, because I was like, I don't even know who this is sending a contact request.
Yeah, that's my government name. That's my government name. That's my corporate contact name. When I hit folks up about sponsors and shit like that, they talk to Harris.
Word. So tell our audience a little bit about yourself, what you do, what your story is, right, and like how you got into this.
Well, my name's Quanstar, stage name. I'm an MC, writer, filmmaker, director. You know what I'm saying? I've been in hip hop professionally since 2001. Put out 11 studio albums altogether, 9 solo. two initially with my hip hop band First Team. Wrote a book, have a comic book series. I was born. I'm from Compton, California. You know what I'm saying, and just came up like in the 80s and early 90s. And hip hop was always like that thing for me. Like I was 7. My cousin bought me LL Cool J's radio. Can't live without my radio.
Nice.
And like I was took after that. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been ahead, like getting in it as much as I can. I've been rhyming since I've been like, I want to say 10. He wrote me a rhyme when I was like 9. And then he used to rap. And he wrote me this rap, and I was walking around rapping. I was like, man, I could write my own. And 10, that's how I started.
Nice, man. I could hear some of the sensibilities of that old school hip hop in your music, man. Like, how much of that influenced you, and how much of that, like, do you try to like bring back today? I
get a track and I just write to it. You know what I'm saying? And what comes out. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's mostly me. It's me. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's not like I'm not really putting in an effort to kill it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, this how you rhyme. Okay, let's make it happen. And, you know.
Word. So it's just all. It's just like whatever comes to mind, whatever comes out is what
producer.
It is.
Yeah. I wrote a song. I worked at Domino's. I was a manager for Domino's. Hell, I wrote a song about slanging pizzas like it was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, you know what I'm saying? I worked at Starbucks coffee shop, and I wrote a song called Caffeine Hustlers. You know what I'm saying? About fucking customers getting on your nerves and all the other shit you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what comes to my mind, I try to just get it out as quickly as possible.
I think for me, like listening to your music and listening to it just reminds me of that old school vibe, because you know, like back in the day, like rap wasn't what it is today, man. Like you couldn't put out an album and then, you know, just start like driving a fucking Bugatti. You know what I mean? Like it's you know what I mean? Like you put out like tons of albums and you're still at the bottom. You know what I mean? You're still struggling. It's still a struggle. So to listen to your music, it's very relatable. Like you haven't changed because you're doing music. You know what I mean? Like the game hasn't changed who you are.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that's like important. I would say like right now, hip hop is like the catalyst for me, but like I'm an artist first and foremost. That's how I look at myself. Like I am an artist, like regardless of if I'm writing something or like writing the film or editing it, or like if I could see the art in anything, I attach to it. Like right now, one of my biggest hobbies is like woodworking, and I just got on that like last October. It just was like, dang. But I start seeing like the little intricacies and developing the blueprints and doing all these things and doing different things, and like now I'm building my kid's bedroom set. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, but it's like, as long as you know the principles of it, and then you can like stretch the boundaries as much as you can. So, you know, like, I think that's what I've developed, and I was like always decided to be true to my artistic side. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Like you said that you actually do all this stuff like on your own. Like this is like your everything like you do is.
I mean, I don't produce the tracks. My dudes, I have different cats that I work with that give me tracks, but pretty much at this point, like progressively, I have 3 kids, so like studios start being costly, you know, because I pay it out my pocket.
Right.
So I set up my own studio, took a closet in the house, set up my own studio, bought the mics, pop screen. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm a cheapskate, so I wasn't buying Pro Tools. So I learned how to like, I record. I learned Audacity, and I learned how to run everything on Audacity. You know what I'm saying? And mix. And so I've been teaching myself to mix over the years. And if you see it on most of my albums, you can see like the progression of me learning the mixing. And right now I'm just doing I'm mastering my own shit right now. So it's like I wanted to be like this sort of, I mean, Prince, rest in peace. His thought process, musician wise, was, and Stevie Wonder, was to be like this self-contained sort of like entity that can do whatever, all the things, express himself on his own. And I wanted that for me. Like, there are times where I might go on like this crazy, just fucking recording spree. Like, I'll be honest, like most of the songs that you're going to hear, with little bits sprinkled here and there, most of the songs that people will hear from this year for the next 2 years, I pretty much recorded most of them like 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, now I'm getting to them, mixing them down, mastering them. If I say, okay, I want to re-record this, I didn't like the way this, let's redo this. But for the most part, I did them all 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I record. And I have 60 songs that I need somebody to mix down for me and master. That's a lot of bread. I got homeboys, and I like, man, I've been telling them for years. I'm like, bro, you need to get that mic at the house. And like, man, you know, I'm like, man, even if you don't want to mix it, man, you save a whole lot of money just recording at your crib. And as you're recording, you'll learn like the different intricacies of your house and where the echoes are in the closet and how to fix it, do all those things. But I was like, man, shit. I mean, I've probably saved. I first set up the studio probably 5 years ago. I probably saved like easily $15,000 to $20,000, easy. You know what I'm saying? And that's like me just running it off my head. Like, I'm pretty certain if I like broke down the numbers, it'll be even more than that. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
just, that's what it's about, man. Like, a lot of times it gives you the freedom. You have the freedom, like your podcast, you got a freedom to say, I'm a record this shit today because I feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel it. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to wait. And then you got your boy at the studio that might be giving you a discount. At the last minute, he might cancel the session because his paying client come and he ain't your homie. You know what I'm saying? So you like, you like, all right, man. So I avoid all of that. Like, I try to adapt the policy. If I can't pay you, I try to do it myself.
It makes sense, man. It's because that money that you're sinking into the studio, you could be doing other things with it. You know what I mean?
I'm saving money.
Yep.
The wife ain't, like, that's more money, like, this is, I got to do this feeds the family. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
So that's money that's saving, where I can say, we just saved this money to my wife. And I say, listen, this is how much I pay for a studio. If I take $1,000 right now and set this up, this is how much we'll be saving. She looked at it for a minute. She's like, all right, this is how much the last album cost. This is how much it'll cost if I get this mic. All right, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
So you're a family man.
Absolutely.
How's the balance between being an artist and, being around with your family and making sure that, they feel your presence? You know what I mean? Well,
it's not really. I mean, there isn't a balance. You know what I'm saying? There's no balance. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to make decisions. I had to make decisions. Like, when my first son was from a previous relationship. But like when my wife and when we got together and now I have 2 kids, I had to make a decision. Like, okay, do I want to, this was maybe like 8 years ago. It's like, do I want to tour 130 dates a year, or do I want to be a dad? You know what I'm saying? So I had to like figure out my little lane and be at home and maybe do 50 dates or some dates and do dates that are closer, or maybe go out like 4 or 5 days and then come home. You know what I'm saying? For like 2-3 weeks and then leave and go 4 or 5 days. And I mean, to be honest, it's sort of hard to reconcile when you're doing something and you're on your way to doing it the way that you always wanted and how you perceived it. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, okay, because we were doing like, me and my folks, we're touring like nationally maybe 3 times a year and internationally. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I was living the life. I was grinding. But yeah. So it took me about maybe 3 years. It took me. I made the decision immediately, and that was a no-brainer to me. But, you know, sometimes it takes your mental and your spirit. Sometimes they don't always catch up with each other. You know what I'm saying? So your mind knows it's the right thing to do, but your heart is longing for something else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it took me a couple of years to get that together and really run my, just like, all right, fuck it. This is the path. Let's make this happen. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, man. And in this day and age, like music, to make money in music, man, like you gotta go on tour. You can't.
Yeah, gotta grind.
Yeah, you can't like rely on CD sales or record sales, because piracy is like a thing. It's a thing.
Absolutely. I mean, and even then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like streaming services, really, those are like promotions. Like saying like I have Tidal and Spotify and all that stuff. New album, Play Games Volume 1 on Tidal, Spotify, all that. But I just saw like I got a printout from distributor about video streaming, one of my videos, and the last period or whatever. And it was like one of them had 3,500 streams, but like it's like the royalty from it is like $2.81. For all 3,500 streams, the royalty was $2.81. Now I have one few years ago where it was like 35,000 streams, and I made like $12 or something like that
total.
So streaming is more like a promotional. It's sort of like that thing where I look at it is like, yeah, I'm on Tidal, yeah, I'm on Spotify, because to the average Joe, being on Spotify and Tidal is a big fucking deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I'm on Tidal, I'm on Spotify, so that validates them that validates you to them in a world where everybody wants to be a rapper now. You know what I'm saying? And so that is like the necessary deal with it. But I mean, yeah, if all things being equal, I wouldn't stream shit. Like I was like, nah. Like I got the album for you, or you can go to the Bandcamp and buy it. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't making no bread off of that shit, man. Yeah,
but it's like you said, it is promotion, and you know, like when it comes time to go on tour, you know what I mean? That gives people...
Yeah, that's how you look at it. Really, that's basically what it is like people really get to see it. Like, told people when I was just posting that the album's up on Tidal and all that, love it, buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just this week, people was just going to the Bandcamp. They played it on Tidal and then in Spotify, and they go to the Bandcamp and start buying the album. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, truthfully, you know, like, it's appreciative. Like, you could have listened to it on Bandcamp. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. I appreciate it, bro. Like, you know, so I was like getting those pings. Ping, ping. You have a sale. Like, bet. Okay.
You have a comic book. You have a movie coming out.
Yep.
The movie that you're working on, is it a nonfiction, a fiction movie? Like, is it?
I don't know. What is it?
Well, you can't be all mysterious like that, man. You gotta.
It's called They Told Me This For Sale, right? And it's I wrote it, and it's about me, and it is about me being signed to a manager, not going the independent route, being signed to a manager and a major label, and the things that happen within that. Now, how that came along is like I originally did a album 4 years. 4 years ago, I recorded an album called They Told Me This Was Sale. And I was about to put it out, and my wife was listening to it. And she was like, nah, because usually I do short films or something per album. She was like, nah, you need to do something more for this. So then I was like, okay, well, let me write 3 short films, and when they'll be videos separately, but when they go together, it'll be like a 20, 30-minute short film. That turned into like an 86, 88-page script. You know what I'm saying? And so there, that's how that happened. And like what we ended up doing was I don't want to say it's a hip opera. You know what I'm saying? I hate that shit, but like it's a musical, it's sort of like The Wiz. Like I perform nearly every song of the album in the movie.
All right.
So like conversation comes up, what happened? And it's like they told me that this will sell. Maybe should dumb it down. If I wanted to sell, probably should dumb it around. And I start saying the song, and then after that verse, it go back to the regular conversation, and we keep talking shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a caller calls on the phone, like what's going on, and we just start doing the song together. So, you know what I'm saying? It's been trying. It's been like, man, bruh, that shit's been like a 3-year process within itself, and it's still. It's going to total before it hits shelves, it'll be 4 years.
Wow.
So like the pre-production, like writing the script, editing the script, re-editing the script, figuring out actually how to do a full-length film, you know what I'm saying? And then looking up all the shits and then reading all the blogs and shit that tell you that the average film needs $2 million. I mean, the average independent film is $2 million, and then you panic and like, what the fuck? I ain't even got $200,000 to put on this shit. Like,
right.
You like, hold on, and then you like, man, fuck this. All these people I know. So then you figuring out your budget. Get with my man Anthony Neal, who's directed my documentary and directed the film, and working out the logistics. You know, figuring out everything that you want to do, and then having to replan the whole shit because you can't afford that shit. So you like hit up dad, okay, we need to record at your house on this one. Hit up my sister, yo, I need to film at your house on these days and these days. Hit up friends, hey man, you want to be at a film? You want to be in a film? I need you to show up today at 5:00. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just walk down the street. Tell somebody, just walk down the street, man. Just walk down the street. Ready, go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, hey, man, let's use your car. I need to use your car. Use mine for a scene. So that's been like, so the actual filming, I've been filming since April 2015, and I should be done this summer. You know what I'm saying? So.
Word. What are you using for cameras, man?
I have no fucking clue, man. I'll leave it up to him.
Like, I mean, they're the big joints, or?
No, we're using DSLRs.
Oh, all right. Word.
You know what I'm saying? Just like get that HD. I'm not at the 4K yet. I'm like, I just like get that HD, that nice crisp look, and I do all the editing and stuff. So. Word.
And are you finding lighting to be like a challenge, or?
Nah, he has like his whole setup. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he does, Anthony. That's what he does for a living. You know what I'm saying? Like
word,
film, video, weddings, everything. That's what he does for a living. So he has a lot of that stuff.
Because I've done I've done some small videos and stuff like that, and like I don't envy people that have to do like full movies, like to try and edit it and make everything look like it belongs together.
Well, like what I haven't, like I'm editing the pieces, so I haven't put it all together yet though. So like to look at it running straight through. But like some of the stuff, I mean, it has to go through like the colorization process and stuff. Like I'm not fooling with that. Like I'm gonna pay somebody to do that,
right.
Which it's some of the, like the lighting and everything, right? And so as long as you have like decent light that you can run with, you can bring whatever light down. You know what I'm saying? You can always, the issue is going from dark to lighter, but you can always bring shit from light to dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. In the comic book.
Yep. It's called A Rapper's Words. The first issue came out last year. The second issue will be out sometime this summer. We just started. Basically what we do is we take some of my songs, and we break down the lyrics frame and illustrate the lyrics frame by frame. So the first issue is called A Ghost in a Shell. It's about man's dependent on technology and how it has brought out the worst in mankind a lot of times with like fear mongering, narcissism. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it's increased our depression, It's increased a lot of people's anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. I mean, people are just horrible now because of it. Like, they see somebody fall, and a lot of times, rather than first thing you want to do is make sure they're all right, or you see two kids fighting, it's people fighting, and whether you want to maybe try to break them up or just make sure, you know, everything is cool, cats want to pull out their fucking cameras and shit and start filming it and post it to Facebook or whatever. So
right,
everybody posting a damn selfie every 50 seconds, you know what I'm saying? Like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like it feeds into the worst of us a lot of ways, and it's just talking about just, you know, like there was a time when we just had pay phones and the computers took like 15 minutes to cut on, you know what I'm saying? And we sort of got along that way.
A lot of your stuff is very of the way of the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like me writing and my art and all that shit is sort of like, it helps me deal, it helps me cope, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, I have to create something or work on creating something every day. If right. I don't, I get depressed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like every day, 365 days a year, I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm making meals from scratch, and those things, like whatever it is like it lets me sort of like pour all that shit that's going on, put it out somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, I got this song. Okay, let me put it out. Oh man, this fucking promoter just took money from me. All right, put it out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck, Donald Trump for president. Oh, fuck, Donald Trump or Hillary. Okay, fuck, let's put it out. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that when they run around in my head or in my heart, it's like the fact that I'm able to express these things every day, paying bills, loving my wife. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have to get those things out.
It's very refreshing to have a conceptual lyricist,
right?
Exactly. In a world where, you know, it's just all about booty and jewels and cars. Yeah. And
I mean, and even that though is sort of like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like, I want to say this, like there are like tons of cats that like don't, like, you got like Odyssey and, you know, like Kendrick, who's from Compton, like me, and you got a bunch of cats that are grinding, but it's like cats have to understand, like, the industry. I've worked for studios, and I did promotions for like a long time going through college, but I worked for a couple studios, and like A&Rs and a lot of labels, the shit that they're looking at is basically they're like going saying, okay, this is what we want. So it's not so much like a lot of the artists or anything. It's like, this is what we want. We want this. We want it to sound like this because this is the demo. This is what cats are listening. This is what cats want to hear. So they find that niche, and they going through, just like what dude Future is having, like, there's like this dude Designer, whatever the hell his name, that's supposed to be popped up and sounds 100% exactly like Future, and just had a #1 single and stuff. But like Future, that shit, that's him. So they found a spinoff. So they like, all right, let's keep running. So don't be surprised if it's like somebody sometime this year that's gonna sound like Designer, because people are like, okay, we can do this now. Let's do it and let's run it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and a lot of these artists, they're not even, that's sort of what the film is about. But a lot of these artists, they're not even really, they may or may not have been like that initially. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you're a young cat and you got cats dropping bread in front of you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, okay, well, maybe, you know, let's do this. And then your manager's like, just do it this way, and we go back to your old stuff and you can get grimy with it. But that's the thing. Once you in that trap, once you get in that bread, you know what I'm saying? And I can't lie. If I was 20, 21, 19, and somebody told me, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, here's a 6-figure advance. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be thinking about, do I own my music? Do I own this? Do I own that? Do I own this? What's going on with this? Who controls that? What's the A&R? What are their best interests? What's imminent for my longevity? What's my 5-year plan? I wouldn't be thinking about that shit. I got my manager. He gave me some bread. I got 100,000. You know what I'm saying? You got some half-naked chicks running around me. Yeah, where's the dotted line, bro? Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And so I ain't seen 100,000 before, and that's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like they get a lot of these cats young, and it just happens like that. I mean, and then you have to also understand, like, you know, the mass shit. I mean, I accept my niche. I understand it. The masses, that's the shit they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear it.
Yep. Yeah, man. It reminds me, man. Like you're a comic book head, so back in the day, it reminds me of like the whole image revolution. Like when Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, all them cats became popular. Like everybody drew like Rob Liefeld, and everybody drew like Jim Lee, and everybody you had the originators, and then you had everybody that just like you could pick up. You couldn't pick up a comic book without having like these hyper illustrated things that look just like the original artists. You know what I mean?
And then they tried to then you had them. So they had to make more definition with their characters. So they start drawing crazier shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you're like, okay, now, motherfucking, his chest is too damn big, bro. You need to tone it. He looks like a fucking bird. You know what I'm saying? Tone that shit down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's like, that's basically what it is. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I used to have homies that, I got folks, oh man, you don't get mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you listen to the radio and it ain't this. And I ain't like, I mean, truthfully, I don't listen to the radio at all. You know what I'm saying?
Either.
Like, that's just not me. But I understand what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? And if I want to appeal to them, I have to figure out, you know what I'm saying? I have to figure out that middle ground sometimes. Like, it's like too often, like especially in hip hop, too often we had a hip hop Republicans and a hip hop police, you know what I'm saying? And they like, oh, fuck that, they whack. These fans don't know shit. It's like, nah, bruh, these are the fans, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's like understand what the deal is, and then you be able to benefit from that. So it's like no anger from me. It's like, hell, I understand. This is what they like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not my taste. It's not the shit I fuck with, but it's what they like. So, okay. Right. So either I can make a choice. I can make what they like. I can find something that they like, or I can do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And usually it's either I can find something that I have that they like, or I just do my own thing.
Well, yeah, you gotta do what you like.
Exactly.
Because otherwise it becomes work.
You find what you like. Like, what I do is I write what I like, and I was like, okay, so I have so much shit that really, when I talk to people and they like something, I know, oh man, I got this song like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, oh, I like that. So then that gets them in. Find what they like, and then, I'm doing my thing. And they're like, oh, yeah, the rest of your album is dope too. You know what I'm saying? The rest of this is dope. Appreciate it, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's about, first and foremost, being true to yourself, but secondly, accepting what the market is and adjusting to the market using a business term. It's about, most times, not even most, let me not say that. A lot of cats that are complaining about the industry don't adjust to the market and don't understand the market. And if you understand the market and you adjust to it, and when I say adjust to it, not necessarily make the music that is made, but if you know what's getting played on mainstream radio and your music does not in any way resemble that, unless you got the bread to make them forget that, you should know that you're not going to get played on mainstream radio. Okay, so then what's the next step? You know what I'm saying? What's my next move then? Just like that, you just save money. You know what I'm saying? And you like, okay, so what's my next step? Okay, all right, bet. So if I don't get played on mainstream radio, maybe I can get college radio. Maybe I can hit podcasts. Maybe I can hit up dudes like this. Okay, bet. Well, all right, that's word. That's word. Okay, so let me play here. Well, okay. Well, I'm an actual artist with an actual album, so maybe paying to do a showcase with 40 fucking other rappers performing that night, and I'm not getting on at 1:30 in the morning to perform for 3 minutes. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Well, maybe I should try to do a show and just see what's going on and do some other shit and make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, like, that's the market adjustment that a lot of artists that are sort of despondent with the industry don't make. You know what I'm saying? And it's all market adjustments. Even this right here, this is business. You know what I'm saying? With, like, we talk about the music business, but this shit I'm doing at home and independently, this is business. This is the music business. I calculated how much this stuff costs. I know how much a disc costs. I know how much that costs. I know how much all this stuff put together costs. I know my profit margin when I need to sell it. I know what costs $400, and I aim to make $4,000 for every $400. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to sort of, you still have to use that, and once you do that, you tend to only care about your art, making money off of your art, your plan for your art, the things that you want to adjust. So a lot of this shit is sort of like dead space around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are points where I don't know. There are points where there's like sometimes where I go a year and ain't listened to no music except for the shit I'm writing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or the things that I'm doing. It's just, it might go that. I mean, I got folks, I buy all their albums. I might not listen to them for like 2 years just because it's a long ass line and I'm just grinding. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know, man. I don't even know if I answered your question. I forgot what the hell he's talking about.
The last thing I want to ask you, man, because I was going through your Twitter account. I was checking out some of your tweets, and I noticed a Batman v Superman tweet that you made that said that shit was off the chain. And I want to know what your thinking is behind saying that, because I didn't hate it. I'm not hating on it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it.
Me and my kids, I went to see it with my kids, and we went to the drive-in, and we sitting in the back of the truck, you know what I'm saying, popped up looking at it, and we're like, oh. See, how I look at movies is especially like comic book movies, mm-hmm. I look at them as if I've never read the comic book before. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know shit about the characters. So it's like Batman versus Superman, like, it has no continuity for me. It has no correlation with any of the comics. You know what I'm saying? With, all right. You know, nothing that has to do with the comics. It's like it's a whole new timeline on a whole nother multiverse. It's like Earth 780. You know what I'm saying? And like, so that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't matter to me. It's like, I look at it separate. Like Dark Knight trilogy, entirely separate deal. Earth 779. You know what I'm saying? And so when I look at a movie, for me, for my sake, it helps me like evaluate the movie and said, okay, that's a bet. So that's why it was off the chain, because it had great action. I actually thought Ben Affleck was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought he was good as Batman.
And Bruce Wayne. You know what I'm saying? And like, and just like how it happened, Flash is my favorite character. So like, he made his like appearance through the timeline, and I was like, oh, and like I always talk to my kids about Flash, like back. So like Flash is like one of my oldest son's favorite characters, and we're all looking at them, and I was like, "That's Flash. See how he traveled through time." And he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "That's Flash. What is he doing?" I was like, "That's the time travel. That's the time travel." And so that's like, that's my thing right there. So I fucks with it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I know everybody. I know like 90% of the world fucking hates it, but like,
I think it's unreasonable to hate it. I think it's because it was not a terrible movie. I think it just had flaws. Lex Luthor being my like, to me, the biggest flaw, because he's one of my favorite villains, and I feel like they shit on him.
See, like, for me, like, I have no connection whatever to Lex Luthor. Like, I really don't give a shit. I'll be honest, I think it's preposterous that Lex Luthor is one of Superman's biggest villains. Biggest rivals. I think it's stupid. You know what I'm saying? I think it's ridiculous. But, like, you know what I'm saying? I just think it's utterly ridiculous. I'm like, okay, whatever. But, like, so, like, I have no connection to that. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but like I said, I just looked at it as an entirely different universe. So that Lex Luthor, looks like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
like, for me, it wasn't about what he looked like. He was just a punk. He was a little punk.
It's like that Lex Luthor was like that. I mean, think about
they've always shit on Lex Luthor.
Gods Among Us, isn't that it?
Yeah, the game.
Yeah, and it's a comic series too.
Yeah, I haven't read the comic.
Lex Luthor was a good guy. You know what I'm saying? He was nice. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, they've never gotten him right in the movies though. Like, like Gene Hackman. He's always been dumb. Just a dumb villain. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I was just hoping that they would get him right in this one.
I mean, like, I guess, like, and don't get me wrong, I like when I hear people arguing about it, I get their point. Like, it's like, okay, I see, but like, for me, every time I see a comic movie, I look at the comic movie for what it is. Like, the original, the first 3 X-Men comics, I looked at it for what they were. And the first one was like, yeah, it's cool. The second one sucked. The third one was like, yeah, it sort of sucked. And then, like, then when they redid it, you know what I'm saying, and reboot the 2 other ones, I was like, okay, these are pretty tight. And then what I hear about Age of Apocalypse is pretty horrible, but I'm still going to go see it.
I'll go see it.
You know what I'm saying? I might like it. Like, I'll be like, okay, this is awesome. Because I don't really,
They should have released that between Batman v Superman and Civil War. Because did you see Civil War yet?
Nope. I'm taking the kids, like, next week.
Yeah, man.
But from what I hear, everybody keeps telling me it's the greatest comic book movie ever.
It's... If you like action in your comic book movies, man, this shit is...
Yeah.
It sets a bar. It sets a really high bar, man. It's amazing. It's a really amazing movie. There's a lot of emotion involved, and there's a lot of, like, downtime too. So, like, hopefully you're into, like, character development and shit as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, like, that part of it is ridiculous as well. Like, like, the whole thing just comes together perfectly, man.
Definitely. Like, I love character development. That's like, I can look at a movie maybe twice, but if some kind of in-depth look into the characters, that'll get me to keep looking at it. And I mean, honestly, I would say, like, it's flawed, and it is flawed, but, like, that's sort of why I liked Batman versus Superman. I'm not gonna say it had sort of huge character development, and some of the, like, but it had, like, emotional development in a way, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of foresight into, like, what was going to happen, like Flash coming back in time. You're right, save her, and then all of a sudden everybody thinking he talking about save Lois Lane, but it's really like save his mom, you know what I'm saying, at the end. And okay, the corny moment where Martha, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, that was a bit sudden.
The corny, but, like, you know what I'm saying? It was real, and sort of like you know, Superman dying at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which he's going to be resurrected for Justice League, definitely. Probably a new actor, though. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you know, I dig it.
All right, man. That's going to be it, man. We're going to wrap it up. It's been real, cuz.
All right, man. Appreciate it, dude. I'm off to cooking lunch and shit.
Yeah, man. Me too.
All right, bro.
All right, peace.
Peace, dog.